Hello guys, Bad Company Incorporated here, and I will be doing another zombies video. And in this one today we'll be doing another top 5, and in this top 5 we'll be doing top 5 guns, and let's get started in the video. At our 5th spot, I would like to introduce the AK-12. Now the reason I put this at the 5th is because it's not necessarily one of the best guns, but it is pretty good actually. And something I like about this gun, it's more damage, and it can kill zombies. That's pretty much it. Of course, it's absolutely terrible for points unless you have double points or something, but it's really good for headshots. It has a really high headshot multiplier, whatever you want to call it, and it does a lot of damage. Ammo's not necessarily a problem until you get into them high rounds, but any time you get into high rounds, ammo's usually a problem. And it isn't that hard to get out of the box now. I know a lot of people say, like, in Exo Zombies, you choose, pretty much, you can choose. It's just, pretty much, when you hold box, it goes to the next gun, it gives it to you. So, it's somewhat, you don't know what's coming. And so, since this gun does a lot of damage, and doesn't give you any points, and I consider it underrated, but I also do think it is a really good gun, and that's why I put it at the top 5 spot. And in my top 4 spot, this gun will be, it's my favorite wall weapon of all time. It's the HBRA, and that is the main reason I like this gun, is for exactly this reason right here. Just wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Boom. You can buy ammo for it. In Exo Zombies, I always find a problem with me, like, never having ammo in my weapons, so I have to go upgrade them and spend $2,500 when they do perfectly enough damage right now, and that's why I like the HBRA. Of course, it shoots slow, but it does do a lot of damage. It packs a punch, and that's the main reason I like it. And you can also buy you can buy ammo for it, and that is another reason that I like this gun, and that is why it is at our 4th spot. So in the 3rd spot, I would like to say it is the ASM1. And the reason this is at the 3rd spot is because it doesn't necessarily pack a punch, but it is a very great point weapon. And so there are those point weapons that blow through ammo, and they do absolutely no damage. So this one is somewhat balanced in between the two. See, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does enough that you can have it for a very long time, and it shoots very fast. Now, it does run out of ammo really fast, but pretty much, what can you expect necessarily? So what I'd have to say about that, it does run out of ammo pretty fast, and that's the reason it isn't, like, maybe at my 2nd. But it is a very good weapon, and it is very effective. It gets you a lot of points, and it somewhat does a lot of damage for being a point gun, in my opinion. And that is the reason I like this weapon. Nothing really too special about it, except that it gets the job done. And it isn't that hard to get out of the box. In my opinion, it isn't that rare to see go across the thing, whatever you want to call it. But in our 2nd spot, it is... This will have to be a tie against the Mayhem and the Crossbow, just because they're both explosives, and explosives are really OP, and the Sledgehammer Zombies, whatever you want to call it. Now, it's sort of, the reason it's a tie between them, now they're both really similar, but the mobility on the Crossbow is a lot better, but the Mayhem does a lot more damage, and it just packs a bigger punch with each bullet. Now, they each don't have that much ammo. The crossbow's a little bit more ammo, but of course it doesn't do as much damage, and you do have to upgrade it a little bit as you get through the rounds. But the Mayhem, you never, well, you might have to upgrade it. I don't think you really do. And they both just do so much damage, and you don't necessarily have to worry about spending $20,000 just trying to get it to do decent or good damage, depending on the gun. These just always do really good damage, and that's the reason they're at the 2nd spot. And coming in at the number 1, you know it, it's in every single map, and it is... Before I announce it, I'd like to do an honorable mention, and it is the ball whatever. Now I know it isn't called the ball, but that's just what I call it. It's called like the ball. I don't know how to pronounce it. Whatever. The ball. That's what I call it. And so the reason that this is an honorable mention and didn't make it in my top 5 is because it reminds me a lot of the ASM1, except it does a little bit more damage and it doesn't shoot as fast. Which the reason it isn't in the, didn't replace the ASM1 is because I feel like the ASM1 does enough damage and it gets you a lot more points and it shoots a lot faster. And so that's the reason that this didn't make it in our top 5, but definitely did deserve a spot in our honorable mention. So let's get into our number 1 spot, which is, of course,
this could be my new favorite.
Yeah, the Cell 3. So, of course, you guys know why this should be in the first spot. Now, I wouldn't do wonder weapons or whatever you want to call it. It's not actually a wonder weapon, but they're pretty much a special weapon out of every single game. And so the Cell 3 is in every single game, but it isn't. People compare it to the ray gun. It's nothing like the ray gun. It isn't as good, and I feel like it's somewhat just a normal gun. I mean, of course, it's all technology shit, but that's the reason it is in my number 1, because I don't necessarily count it as a wonder weapon, or whatever you guys call it on Exo Zombies. But I love this gun. It is so fun to use, and it is really good. It is automatic. People say it like the automatic's hacky. No. Alright, so you shoot it, and then you'd hold it, and then it'd shoot one more, like it'd be like you're just pressing the button, and then it goes into automatic, and it turns really OP, and you can take down a crowd in a matter of minutes, and it is really good. And this is absolutely my favorite weapon to get. It is good on all maps, and it's not that hard to see go across the box, whatever you guys want to call it. So this made it into our number 1 spot, and I will do more top 5s for you guys coming up soon, and I will try to get my Metal Gear Solid Let's Play out there. But thank you guys for watching Bad Company Incorporated, and I'll see you in the next one.